When your cat suddenly freezes, staring into a corner, tracking something you can't see, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Yes, it looks strange. Maybe even a little unsettling. Like they're reacting to something invisible. But behind that stillness, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most emotionally loaded things your cat can do. And if you ignore it or laugh it off, which most owners do, you might be missing signals your cat is trying to send in one of their most alert and vulnerable states. Let's start with what that silent, focused moment really means. Have you ever noticed your cat suddenly stop? Completely still, eyes locked onto something that isn't there? Most people think it's random, or that their cat is just being weird. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat is not reacting to nothing. They are detecting something. Your senses simply can't pick up tiny movements, subtle vibrations, faint sound frequencies. To you, the room is empty. To your cat, it's full of signals. Think about that for a second. What looks like stillness is actually intense awareness. And here's what most people don't realize. If your cat stays calm during this, no puffed fur, no tension, it means they feel safe while being fully alert. That's a very specific emotional state. Aware, but not afraid. And by the way, if your cat ever pauses mid-stare and slowly turns to look at you, don't brush it off. We'll come back to what that moment really means, and it's something most owners wish they understood sooner, because this isn't just about what they see. It's about what they know and who they trust while seeing it. Have you ever wondered why your cat reacts to things long before you notice anything? Most people assume it's just sharper senses, but here's what's actually happening. A 2021 study from the University of Kyoto found that cats can detect high-frequency sounds far beyond human capability, nearly 3 times higher than what you can hear. At the same time, their eyes are built to detect motion in low-light conditions where your vision struggles. Think about that for a second. You and your cat live in the same home, but experience completely different versions of it. Animal cognition. Research shows that cats process layers of sensory information simultaneously: tiny shadows, distant vibrations, subtle air changes. But emotionally, it means something deeper. When your cat stares into space, they are not imagining something. They are observing a layer of reality your brain filters out. And here's where it gets even more powerful. They don't panic. They don't run. They stay, which means they trust the environment they're sensing. And if they stay near you during that moment, they trust you too. So the next time your cat locks onto something invisible, remember, they're not disconnected. They're more connected than you are. Have you ever noticed your cat staring at the same exact spots again and again? Corners, doorways, ceilings. Most people think it's just habit, but here's what's actually happening. Cats constantly scan and update their internal map of their territory. Behavioral scientists call this territory verification. Your cat is silently asking one question: is everything still safe? And scent plays a huge role in this. Cats have scent glands in their cheeks, forehead, and paws. Every time they rub against you or objects, they leave invisible markers. So when they stare into those familiar spots, they're checking those invisible boundaries. Think about that for a second. Your home isn't just a place to them. It's a network of scent, memory, and safety. And you are part of that network. You're not just someone who lives there. You are something they've mapped as safe. And here's what most people don't realize. When your cat checks their environment and stays calm near you, they're confirming that you belong in that safe world. That's not passive behavior. That's acceptance. That's inclusion. That's your cat quietly saying, you're part of my territory and my trust. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. Have you ever wondered why your cat can stay completely still for so long? Most people think it's just focus, but here's what's actually happening. A 2020 study from the University of Lincoln found that domestic cats retain strong survival instincts from their wild ancestors, especially during low-light hours. In the wild, stillness was everything. Move too soon, you miss prey. Move too late, you become prey. So cats evolved to freeze, observe, And process. Think about that for a second. That exact survival system is still active in your home today. But here's the emotional shift: your cat is no longer surviving, they're safe, and yet, they still activate that system, which means something very important. They're choosing to stay in a heightened awareness state without fear. Because of you, you changed the meaning of their instincts. What once meant survival now exists alongside trust. And that's not small. That's transformation. Have you ever noticed your cat behaves completely differently around other people? Maybe they hide, or stay tense, or leave the room. Most people think cats are just selective, but here's what's actually happening. Cats don't enter a calm alert state around people they don't trust. They either stay defensive or they remove themselves entirely. But when your cat stays still, aware, and present around you, something else is happening. They are choosing to remain vulnerable in your presence. Think about that for a second. They could leave, they could hide, but they don't. They stay. And what makes this even more meaningful is they don't offer this to everyone, not to strangers, not even to every person in the same home. This is selective. This is intentional. And it means something very clear. You are not just familiar. You are trusted. You are safe enough for them to be fully aware without fear. Now let's come back to something we mentioned earlier. Have you ever seen your cat staring into nothing, then suddenly turning to look directly at you? Most people ignore it, but here's what's actually happening. A 2022 study from the University of Sussex found that cats use intentional eye contact as a form of communication with humans they trust. This includes gaze shifts during moments of heightened awareness. So when your cat breaks focus and looks at you, they are not distracted. They are checking in. Think about that for a second. They're switching from instinct to connection, from scanning their environment to acknowledging you. And here's the part most owners never realize in that moment. Your cat is balancing two worlds, the one they sense and the one they share with you. Remember earlier when I said if your cat looks back at you, it matters? This is what I was talking about. They are not asking for help. They are confirming something, that you are still there, that you are part of their safe reality, that even when their instincts are fully active, they choose to stay connected to you. That is not small. That is trust in its quietest form. Now here's something most people overlook. What happens when your cat stops doing this? No more staring. No more scanning. No more quiet awareness. Most people don't notice. But here's what's actually happening. Behavioral scientists have observed that changes in awareness patterns can signal stress, anxiety, or physical discomfort in cats, because what looked like nothing was actually a consistent behavior. Think about that for a second. Your cat was engaged, aware, connected to their environment. So when that disappears, something has changed. Maybe it's stress, maybe it's discomfort, maybe something deeper. This is where most owners get it wrong. They wait for loud signs, but cats communicate through quiet changes. So when that stillness disappears, don't ignore it. Because silence in a cat's world is never empty. So when your cat freezes, staring into something you can't see, do you actually know what it means? It's not ghost, it's not imagination. It's awareness. It's instinct. It's trust. That's not strange behavior. That's your cat experiencing a world layered beyond yours, while choosing to stay grounded beside you. That's not distance. That's connection. And that quiet moment where they observe, pause, and then look back at you, that's not nothing. That's your cat choosing you, even when their instincts are fully active. That's not them seeing something else. That's them including you in what they see. And that moment, it was never small to them. And it shouldn't be small to you either.